Call this meeting to order, a regular meeting for the Corporation of the Township of Brunel, Lindop and Raglan, this 5th day of June, 2024 at 7:01 p.m. As we gather this evening, I would like to acknowledge on behalf of this council and our community that we are meeting on the traditional territory of the Algonquin people. We would like to thank the Algonquin people and express our respect and support for their rich history. We are extremely grateful for their many and continued displays of friendship. We also thank all the generations of people who have taken care of this land for thousands of years. So roll call, Councillor Banks.
Here.
Councillor Cotwell.
Here.
Councillor Keller.
Here.
Councillor Cott.
Present.
Okay, so we have a resolution for the adoption of the agenda. Before we do that, though, I'd like to welcome everybody for coming tonight to our meeting.
Ready.
So the resolution reads that we, the council of the corporation of the township of Brunel, Lindop and Raglan, adopt the agenda as amended to include item 11.9, approval of draft survey V 187-/23 Shiner. Could I get a mover for that, please? Councillor Banks, seconded by
I can second.
Councillor Keller. Any comments, questions? I'll call for the vote. All those in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? The motion is carried. Mayor's address, I don't have much to report. It was kind of quiet. There wasn't a lot of meetings or things going on, so that's about all I have to say. Except we had the 2 open houses for the proposed snowmobile train. Okay, do we have any disclosure of pecuniary interest with anything on the agenda tonight?
I do, so mine is with 11th and rate.
Okay. That is noted. So delegations, clerk's report.
Thanks, Madam Mayor. So during the month of May, I attended 2 Zoom meetings. I also attended the Wellness Day, which was held in Grays Bay on May 4th. And last week we had a joint municipal CEO clerk meeting in regards to the new police service board. It's not expected to have a full operating board in the fall.
They're sure taking the time and getting that going.
Yeah, I know I first got a notification yesterday. My being works.
Yeah.
So,
I had read somewhere, I don't know where, that there was training for you to be on the board.
it was on the email and there's actually a bit of a test or an exam to go with it. And it said you should be no longer than 3 hours on
Oh my,
Yeah.
Just to be on the board.
yeah. Okay, so you got your homework there.
Yes.
Delegations under presentation, so we have a delegation from, Roger Cardozo, is that how you spell it?
That's right.
Pronounce it, and Scott Williams is the spokesperson. So, we won't be taking any questions or anybody speaking from the audience. Scott will be the, okay, so we come forward, please. You can pull it.
Should I? go on this one?
You might want to just. You can pull that chair over.
Are you watching?
Right on the side of the model, yes.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Thanks for the opportunity to speak this evening. This was just to, to get in the details after the income taxes. It's something that we've had people in the following day. We were able to get most of the points down on the left of the address. We all thanks to my home. The issue with mine, I misspelled your email address, but hopefully not to be right. Quite lengthy, but just trying to identify a number of points of concern. Thank you very much for arranging the open house. It's great to get the snowmobile club's point and clarify a number of points. Also opened up a bunch of others as well.
Yeah.
Most of which are detailed in the letter, but just to bring sort of the key point. First one is what the justification as to why it is needed. None of these distances are verified, but there was reference to 17.5 kilometers or thereabouts of a new trail. So a snowmobile anywhere within that route is never into double-digit kilometers away from the existing snowmobile trails already. The vast majority, just over 3/4 of the new route runs on gravel roads or along the side of existing highways, and as they ascertain during the meeting, they're able to use anyway. And the new route uses that for most of it. So there's the approximate 1.5 kilometers, depending on the route through the private land between Jewel Road and Lower Rosenthal Road. And then the opening of the unopened road allowances, which by a quick Google calculation, so again, I'm not sure of the distances, but it was approximately 2.7 kilometers. Leading to a total of 4.3 kilometers being on routes that aren't otherwise available to. Due to the grid nature of the roads in that area already, they're equally able to take any of those roads, continuing on with Jewelville Road and then down Dining Road, and it adds slim to no extra distance. So I find that justification that this is needed in order to enable them to access the snowmobile trails is of dubious quality in terms of what's already available in the area. And again, by their own admission, 31,000 kilometers of routes within Ontario. It's one of the largest networks in a province within North America, so they're fairly well developed. Fully understanding, same as with all our hobbies, that people will always want more, but the justification of that being they're not able to get to it very easily, even for the local snowmobiles, is not necessarily a strong case that would require everyone else suffering. I shouldn't say everyone else, a number of other residents suffering for it. In terms of business, a lot was made of that. Some of the figures were extremely large. I would suggest, at the very least, that's total revenue. It was province-wide rather than profit, and it's really only an increase in profit that's a benefit for business. Having been self-employed for 6 of the last 8 years myself, very encouraging of supporting local businesses wherever possible. We do the vast majority of our grocery shopping in Barrack Bay. We frequent Anna's. We buy most of our meat locally. We spent 3 months of the last 2 years in local accommodation, and actually, since doing some of the research for this, we'll be booking one of the Airbnbs in Palmer Rapids for some friends that are visiting next month. So very, very encouraging and supporting of businesses. But the businesses that are likely to benefit from this trail are few, and we requested that balance with, again, the significant economic and other disadvantages that come with that. And I would argue if supporting local business was the true reason behind the trail, then straight on the 515 would bring them much closer, especially in Palmer Rapids. The proposed trail is actually further away from the businesses in Palmer Rapids than the ends of the existing trail already are. I do agree with them, the trail will be busy. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to include the link to the OFSC trail map. They very responsibly take it down at the end of the season, so people don't traverse trails that aren't open. But I had that quickly after the April meeting we were able to attend. It's the only transit north-south between Bancroft in the west and Dacre in the east. So again, I would argue probably a more likely a reason for snowmobile trail. I know I wouldn't want to go all around in a snowmobile. It's 3 gas tanks worth, so it's likely to be busy. The snowmobile representative mentioned in the region of 100 or so a day, and him thinking that wasn't very much. I would argue, especially on the likes of Jewelville Road, Lower Rosenthal Road, Dining Road, that's probably a tenfold increase in traffic. And 2 of those 10 that normally go past a day is the school bus one in either direction. So that's a significant extra increase in traffic. So that leads to the safety element, where the argument for the trail was for safety purposes of keeping it off major thoroughfares. I would argue it's less safe to encourage 100+ additional users. Whether that's an accurate figure or not, I'm just using the figure that we used, but when that's primarily weekends and evenings and when most people are off, both in terms of noise, but also in terms of significant additional users on predominantly gravel roads, except, accepting the Palmer Road portion west of Quadville until you get going road there. That's likely to be off in the ditch, but the others don't really have ditches, and where they do have ditches, it's private property. And that also leads to the problem with snow plow clearance, whereas the snow going to be cleared on the gravel roads if it's not into the very small, if non-existent ditch. So the safety argument, I would say, is again of dubious claim, given the increase in traffic it's likely to bring into the area. That also leads to the economic risks. I've already alluded to the snow clearance, the repair of the roads. We can all see the damage that the snowmobiles do to a tarmac road or a paved road. And again, when the majority of the routes that it's using being gravel roads, there will be significant damage whether we like it or not. There's also the mention of actually running down the road that there isn't a ditch. And say it wouldn't cause much damage, but then you complain about four-wheelers damaging the snowmobile trails. Again, I would argue that a vehicle with rolling wheels and air-filled tires does less damage than a paddle track and pushing skis through gravel, at least. Admitting there's snow on the road, but it does need clearance. And that again leads into some of the economic risks that this brings on. And the reason why I mentioned it with the snow plows, in very little researching, there's been a number of liability cases, both against municipalities and against the snowmobile club. The OFSC actually has an entire section dedicated on how I believe the word was a frightening increase in the liability cases against them and the costs to them, both in terms of greatly increased insurance costs, but also the costs of just defending against even fraudulent or non-libelous claims that are found to be not correct. It's increased their costs substantially, I think, to defend themselves against those. One in particular, 2 or 3, the first one was 8 million against after a group of residents in Quebec. Another case was 1.8 million from a snowmobilist suing a municipality because of snow clearance that he run into the bank that was created by the snow. So there's a number of economic risks that it opens the municipality and council up to, whether intended or not, just from the high use of those gravel roads and activities that need to be done to maintain the roads in and around that. And then my last and the point of most concern was on questioning him about what appears to be wetland, where they're running out of personal interest onto the road, the next property lot over from ours, which the yellow tape that are on the trees that they're intending to clear was right through the middle of what on Mercury County's website is designated as wetland. I'm not an environmentalist. I have no idea whether that's legally designated wetland. That's MNR's responsibility and authority area. But they weren't aware of it. We hadn't actually looked at it. And the response was that it would be frozen. As far as I'm aware, that doesn't change the legal designation of wetland, and nor does it really change how it's supposed to be treated. It does change when you can do construction, but he indicated that they were looking to do the majority of their work in September, where I highly doubt that it would be frozen at that time. And actually the fact that it is frozen, having spent many years in civil construction itself, makes it significantly harder. By the time it falls, any petroleums or any accidents or spills that come out, defrost, end up in the water course, it's months and months later. So just in terms of trying to clear it up or arrange who is paying, it often ends up falling either on the landowner or the municipality or whatever. So that is a significant litigation risk in terms of, I believe the water courses in the area are outside the municipal authority. So it creates the issue of who caused the pollution, where did it come from, how did it end up, and even without who did it, how do we clear it up, which all these economic risks eventually end up on constituents as taxpayers because the money have to go from somewhere. insurance costs, and in a lot of cases, negligence is not covered under insurance, most policies specifically excluded. And in personal experience, quite often they end up being rejected from that, the money has to come from somewhere, whether it's insured or not. So that was a great concern, mainly because they wasn't even aware that there was an area that was potentially wetland. They've not looked at any of the runoff, any environmental, which tells me they just picked a route for ease. Actually, easing the sense both financially, but also the area crossing those three valleys, there's a number of escarpments, it's quite a tortuous route, which is why the map, why we came in the April meeting, because it actually showed a route going through the corner of our property along the top of the ridge there, which is what drew our attention in the first place. In fact, they're moving a little bit further east, so it's quite a tricky bit of terrain to navigate. So, the fact that they haven't looked at any of those things, our hobby, we do a significant amount of tracking, we track bobcat, and what we suspect is eating the water, and we say we suspect. They're incredibly hard to tell the difference between. We're right on the edge of the Algonquin, it's also known as the Algonquin Wolf. We're right on the edge of the known and designated territory that fall right out of Algonquin Park. Highly plausible, but they're very close to hybrid and interbreeding between wolves and coyote, which is why they're very difficult to tell unless you can track them. It's a threat species. But without looking at any of those factors, and normally under the Environmental Protection Act, to even assess any of that is a multi-year, multi-season task, because it's expected that those observations are done in multiple seasons to verify any migratory animals, all the different conditions. It's also specified that it must be done by an independent qualified third party in terms of responsibility, because most of us have no idea the difference between the very different newts of all different terms of sizes, but it was just of concern that they weren't even aware, which tells me they've not looked to see. And where does the liability for that end up being? I'd say, as far as I can see, nobody's contacted the Ministry of Natural Resources. There's several creeks in and around the area that's even when it's not on it. So Guinea Road itself runs through a large, Guinea Road, my apologies, at the south end, runs through a large swath of what's, again, I'm not saying it's wetland, I honestly don't know, but on the Renfrew County GIS website, when I looked up, which is where I go for property parcels, routes, rights of way, etc., it's designated as wetland. And even though they'll be traveling on the road there, again, any contamination and spill will end up in a waterway sooner or later. So it's a little alarming that not only have you not done what I would consider due diligence, but also the response even with it frozen. So that was a key concern. And the last and final point was, if evidenced by the open house, and I'm sure I believe it was one of the April, we received a lot of or a lot more responses objecting to the trail than for it. Certainly in the evening session of the open house, there appears to be a lot louder voices opposing it than against, acknowledging the number of snowmobilers that were there and the snowmobile club themselves. Couldn't see an overwhelming value in it. You're also confirmed they're not paying any money, so all the money for the extra clearance, any risk mitigation, anything that needs to be done on site will come out of all of our pockets as taxpayers and constituents.
You mean the clearing of the land?
No, that's being paid for one on the phone.
Yeah.
But any of they were quite specific in the meeting, their insurance and liability is specifically for legal users within the designated boundaries of the trail. Accidents by the very nature will quite likely go in the backside of the trail, which is why a number of the liable cases are being brought. When someone goes and takes it off either through trespass or anything else. But clearance of the road, I understand that the April meeting is especially with the public works. But I'm assuming we're doing estimates as to how much you're anticipating that will cost extra. And one of my requests was actually that any of these figures that we're anticipating as potential extra cost are made available in order that municipal constituents can know what that means in terms of financial hit for increases in taxes. Madam Mayor, thank you very much for that. I don't have any further points. My email, I'm afraid, was very long. My apologies to bore you. I was literally trying to throw that at your request.
Yeah.
I understand it.
Yeah.
It was very difficult to chair, was quite, at times heated discussions between, we have the benefit of, we're relatively new, so we don't have these long-standing childhood relationships.
Yeah.
But rather than bring all the points and while they were digressing or becoming an argument, I just want to get them all back.
Well, thank you very much. I mean, a lot of that was raised at the public open house. We're still waiting for information to come in. We will be having, a discussion later on in the meeting, and we will not be making a decision tonight. So, we're still receiving information and dealing with.
So our next question would be, before a decision was made, is there the opportunity for us as residents to discuss with you as council, understanding the snowmobile club was provided there? But I still want to be in order that we can then do our due diligence and provide accurate representation on any of the law.
Well, I think what we'll be doing is just gathering more information. I believe we have a petition we received from people in support of it. I don't know, we haven't seen it yet. I don't even know how many names is on it, or we haven't had a chance to look at that. And we're still waiting for some other stuff to come in, so.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
If you watch the agendas, when we will be making a decision, it will be on the agenda for that meeting. And for those of you, like, if you want to just follow, like, you can sign in on Zoom for every meeting also, or like, tomorrow you'll be able to go on YouTube and watch the meeting too, so. But we're still not at a point to make a decision. It's, a pretty controversial issue. And I understand your feelings. And I understand the feelings of the other side. It's just, we've got to make a decision on what's best for the majority, so. Yeah. It's kind of where we're at. So if you bear with us. What? Yeah. Okay, so we have the adoption of our minutes from previous meetings. We have a resolution that we, the council of the corporation of the township of Brunel and Falcon Island, hereby adopt the minutes of the regular council meeting of May 1st, 2024, and the special council meeting of May 15th, 2024, as presented. Can I get a mover for that, please? Moved by Councillor Coyle, seconded by Councillor Banks. Any comments, questions, concerns about? I'll call for the vote. All those in favor? Opposed? The motion is carried. We have recreation minutes from meetings of March 19th, April the 2nd, and April the 30th. And we have a resolution, the council for the corporation of the township of Brunel and Falcon Island accept the May 19th, April 2nd, and 2024 recreation committee minutes as presented. Can I get a motion for that, please? Moved by Councillor Caldwell, seconded by Councillor Keller. Any comments or questions? I'll call for the vote. All those in favor? Opposed? None. The motion is carried. We have a resolution from our CBO regarding building fees. And it reads, the council for the corporation of the township of Brunel and Falcon Island approves attached description of current and proposed building fees and further sets a public meeting for July 3rd at 6:30 p.m. to meet OBC requirements and direct staff to advertise. Can I get a mover for that, please? Moved by Councillor Keller, seconded by Councillor Banks. And we have a staff report from the CBO. So who's gonna deal with that one?
I can.
Okay.
He was gonna try and zoom into it, but his internet at home is very sketchy, so we couldn't. Okay. Get it with this. So he's evaluated a number of different townships' current building permit fees and associated costs. He's provided a chart of all of them and took a rough median of them and is proposing a change in building fees. If council is in favor of the fees he is recommending, in the OBC, there is a requirement notice of advertising that needs a minimum of 21 days to the public before the meeting. So if council approves these fee changes, we would advertise right away, and the public meeting could be held on July 3rd.
Is that new?
No,
Because I've never known a municipality to do that.
I've seen it over the past couple of years of different municipalities who have.
So that's just to notify the change.
It's to notify the public, there's a
Yeah.
public meeting
Oh.
about the changes, and they can notify us if they want to provide comment.
Okay, so then, does that mean we wouldn't vote on it until the 3rd of
That's right,
July?
so at this point, you're not passing the changes. This is to advise you of what the CEO is suggesting, if you have any questions about it.
To do the process.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, and then you'd be voting on the fees at the next meeting.
I can't believe that our fees haven't been changed since 2011. I mean, if you look at the cost of a building inspector in 2011 and now,
Yeah,
they would
I'm,
have tripled.
I'm happy you brought it to our attention.
Yeah, because it's supposed to be,
Cost recovery.
cost and public service, and it's really far from that, you know.
And if possible, would staff bring that to the next meeting time where we are now? Would it be hard to bring an idea of what we're bringing in started revenue or current costs?
Yeah, what it costs for our building official for the year in comparison to the fees we collect.
You're gonna have to throw up a few more houses.
Yeah. No,
Need to find some way to attract people to the township.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that having them go away.
I know I thought we had reviewed it after I was on council, but I don't even never made no changes. I don't know.
I believe a summary was brought before council.
Okay, I accept it. Okay.
Okay, so that's, yeah, so some of them won't change. Some of them,
Yeah.
I mean, a septic system repair will go down.
Yeah.
And an installation will go up.
You know, some of the numbers he was proposing was kind of where I thought they should be. I kind of checked them off as I went, but I guess a couple of the questions I had was, you know, a couple of new ones was plumbing in the wood stove.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at too.
A very common requirement in a lot of the other municipalities that charge for that.
Now, when you talk about a chimney and wood stove, are you talking about if mine catches fire and I gotta put a new one in, then I have to come
It's
in?
not a wet inspection.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that takes special certification, and that's not.
Yeah. That has to be done by someone that's qualified to do.
No, what I'm talking about, if I want to replace it, do I have to come to you guys and,
Yes.
I would have to ask Eddie that, and I didn't know
I would
this.
think so.
because why should I have to pay $100 if I want to change my chimney? Or my wood stove?
Your existing chimney.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And not change the position.
no, but my wood stove, I mean, that has to be wet certified anyways, I can't put one in. And then you're gonna ask me to pay another $100 on top of that? What's he gonna come out and inspect it? Is he wet certified?
No, we don't
that's-
offer wet
Yeah,
certification.
that's what I mean.
Yeah,
It's
it's
the
a
construction
question.
of it.
That's the construction of. It's like a building permit for the installation of the.
To make sure you put the proper base in to carry the load
Yeah.
for the chimney itself. If
I
something
think that
changes.
Oh, so if nothing changes, I don't have to have that service then? Is that what you're saying?
I can't answer that question.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's what I'm imagining, that must be what it is.
I would assume.
It's around the structure that carries the load of the chimney, right? You know, your floor where you put the plate, you know, ceiling or whatever. I'm guessing that's what it must be, but
And an occupancy permit, I know a lot of the financial institutions now want an occupancy permit.
Insurance is not.
Yeah, an insurance, so we haven't been doing that, and if he is, it's there's no cost for it, so it's another service that like another trip he's doing that. So,
Mhm.
Can I speak up here? If you look at your insurance policy, anytime you change your wood heating, it's in your insurance policy. You have to have it checked.
Oh, yeah, I realize that,
Read your insurance.
but I'm just saying, is he gonna come in?
Read your, you know, if you change.
I'm just saying, why should I pay $100 if I'm gonna, if I have to change my chimney and my wood stove?
No. Check with your insurance company, because I want a wet thing done.
Oh, yeah, I realize that.
well, and we can, but Eddie will know what it is. Okay, is there any other comments or questions about that? No. Okay, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor? Yes. Yes. Opposed?
Did we get a move and second for that?
Yes. Yes, I believe it was Sheldon and. Okay, the motion is carried. So then we'll deal with that, before the regular meeting.
Yeah, so the next meeting's at 6:30 in the afternoon.
Okay. Correspondence, we have a resolution that reads that we, the council of the corporation of the township of Brunel and Dock and Raglan hereby accept the correspondence as circulated. So we have the list of it was, the county council summary, would be a summary of what the April meeting was. Is there anything else in that correspondence that anyone wanted pulled for support?
I'd like to see item 10 too.
Yes,
I know a lot of municipalities have them.
and we have a bylaw for that. No? Yeah,
Yeah.
we did that after we had the problem with the tigers. and
With the lines out there, yeah.
Yeah, so, but I think the province needs regulations too, I mean, something like that, you know, they dabble in so many things and something of that magnitude,
I think there needs to be just a potential standard, right?
yeah. Okay, so, then, I think there's a list. I didn't go over. I didn't. Okay.
There's from the amendment to, with the exception of 10.2, if you want to click on the motion.
Okay, so, we'll get a mover for it.
I can.
Moved by Councilor Keller, seconded by Councilor Quad. Any further discussion? Okay, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor? Opposed? The motion is carried. Okay, so we have a bunch of motions or issues from the last meeting that were supported. We have a resolution supporting a letter for mental health and addiction in the city of Pembroke. And it reads, be it resolved that the council of the corporation of the township of Brunel and Dock and Raglan hereby supports the request from the city of Pembroke calling upon the province of Ontario to allocate funding specifically for the establishment of a mental health, addiction, and residential drug treatment rehabilitation facility serving the county of Brantford. And further, the council directs staff to provide a copy of this resolution to the Honorable Doug Ford, Premier of Ontario, Sylvia Jones, Deputy Premier and Minister of Health, Michael Tilla, Associate Minister of Mental Health and Addiction, Robert Martin, Parliamentary Assistant to the Minister of Health, the Honorable John Yakubowski, Member of the Provincial Parliament for the City of Pembroke, the Association of Municipalities of Ontario, the Eastern Ontario Wardens Caucus, Eastern Ontario Mayor's Caucus, Peter Beeman, Warden for the County of Brantford, and all neighboring County of Brantford lower tier municipalities. Can I get a move into that, please? Moved by Councillor Papel, seconded by Councillor Banks. Any other comments? Yeah, we need something more. We only have the one, addiction center in Brentford, the Maggie Mann. And I don't think it deals with drug addiction, and think it deals with alcohol. So it's a really much needed service for our county. The next one is to, a recommendation on free well water testing. Be it resolved that the council of the corporation of the township of Brunel and Halton Right and hereby supports the request from the township of Archipelago for the province to reconsider and ultimately decide against the proposed phasing out of free drinking water testing services. And further, the council directs staff to provide a copy of this resolution to the Honorable Doug Ford, Premier Ontario, Sylvia Jones, Deputy Premier and Minister of Health, Andrea Conjun, Minister of Environment, Conservation and Parks, the Honorable John Yakabuski, and the County of Vancouver District Health Unit, and all Ontario municipalities. Gonna get a word, Councillor Claude, seconded by Councillor Power. What's the time period, do you know, for the phase out? Yeah, that's not a good thing, because right now we can take the money or water and have it tested if it's legal. So. The third one is another resolution. Oh, I didn't call for the vote on that. I'll call for the vote on the previous resolution. All those in favor? Opposed? The motion is carried. Okay. Be it resolved that the council of the corporation of the township of Brunel and Falcon Raglan hereby supports the request from the city of Peterborough and Honorable Paul Twander, Minister of Municipal Affairs and Housing, he requested to reduce the bill to amend the Ombudsman Act. And further, the council directs staff. I thought we were trying to point something out to people. And further, the council directs staff to provide a copy of this resolution to the okay, I did that all from Twander. John Yakabuski, MPP for Renfrew Nipissing Pembroke, and the Association of Municipalities and Ontario Municipalities. Can I get a mover for that? Roger moved by Councillor Popwell, seconded by Councillor Banks. Any comments? I'll call for the vote. All those in favor? Yes. Opposed? The motion is carried. The fourth resolution is be it resolved that the council of corporation of the township of Brunel and Falcon Raglan hereby supports the resolution passed by Public Health Sudbury and Districts on January 18th regarding household food insecurity. And that we direct staff to send a copy to Premier Doug Ford, the Minister of Children, Community and Social Services, Paul Parsico, Minister of Finance, Peter Beth, I don't know how you say that one, Minister of Municipal Affairs and Housing, Paul Calandra, Deputy Premier and Minister of Health, Sylvia Jones, Honorable John Yakabuski, our member for Renfrew Nipissing Pembroke, Amo, and all Ontario municipalities. Can you get a mover for that, please? Moved by Councillor Claude, seconded by Councillor Banks. Any comments? I'll call for the vote. All those in favor? Yes. Opposed? The motion is carried. I don't remember what this one is about.
Neither do I. I don't remember the vote on that one.
The, something about the audit report.
Regarding the food insecurity.
It was a mission. Yeah, this is the one that enable informed decisions and get actions that protect and promote health and contribute to reducing health inequities. There are grave concerns that the closure of 6 community-based PHO labs will increase health equities, especially in rural communities.
Okay, I remember it now.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so this resolution is resolved that the council of the corporation of the township of Brunel and Falcon Raglan hereby supports the resolution passed by Loyalist Township urging the provincial government to take caution against acting on the recommendations stated in the audit report. And then we send it to the Minister of Health, Sylvia Jones, Honorable John Yankowski, MP, Honorable Cheryl Doran, Member of Parliament for Renton and St. Pembroke, Amo, and all Ontario municipalities. Could I get a motion for that, please? Okay, a mover. Councillor Copwell, seconded by Councillor Banks. Any comments or questions? I'll call for the vote. All those in favor? Yes. And opposed, the motion is carried. We have another resolution, be it resolved that the council of the corporation of the township of Brunel and Bell Rival hereby supports the resolution from the council of the municipality of Calvin regarding the review of the national firefighting strategy. Do you remember what that one was about, Tony?
That was, if you don't know, you're looking for, they want to bring some funding back
Okay,
for firefighters and equipment.
yeah, okay,
Do you remember the Jack grant?
yes,
They want to bring that
good,
back.
yeah, yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah.
So, okay, and we're going to send a copy of it to the Right Honorable Justin Trudeau, Prime Minister of Canada, the Honorable Doug Ford, the Honorable Bill Blair, the Honorable Graydon Smith, the Honorable Vic Fidelli, the Honorable John Yankowski, the Federation of Canadian Municipalities, and the Association of Municipalities of Ontario Municipalities. Can I get a mover for that, please? Moved by Councillor Lang, seconded by Councillor Keller. Any comments or questions? Call for the vote. All those in favor? Opposed? The motion is carried. Okay, we have a request. From the BLR Recreation Committee for Canada Day, the Council of the Corporation in the Township of Brunel and Dock and Raglan hereby approve the donation of $100 to the BLR Recreation Committee for the purchase of bubbles for the children on Canada Day, July 1st, 2024. Can I get a mover for that, please? Moved by Councillor Copwell, seconded by Councillor Banks. Do the staff report.
Yeah, I can speak to that. So the rec committee's been doing great, and with Canada Day, they've gotten donations from Valley Mart to provide a big slide cake, just for aiding for Canada Day. Metro, I believe, is the one providing the freezy Springfield kids. They're doing free hot dogs and the fire department's doing a big routine. And of course, the fireworks at dusk and there's kids games and they're planning on big trucks and stuff in the parking lot and kids to see, so. Should be a great afternoon, and we'd like to hand out bubbles with the freezes to the kids and the assassinate the council's supporting that.
Okay, any comments or questions from council?
No, other than great enthusiasm so far.
Yeah,
Things are building nicely.
yeah, things are starting to happen. That's nice to see. So I'll call for the vote on that. All those in favor? Yes. Opposed? The motion is carried. Okay, we're at the discussion regarding the snowmobile trail. So. Yes. This one taking my water. Okay, so. Okay, so we have a petition here.
Yes. So I have been presented a petition in favor of the snowmobile trail from Sarah Cargus. There is 158 signatures. Council wants to approve. And pass it around.
And, yeah, we'll need some time to look at that. So these are all people that live in the township,
I would say 95% or more.
are landowners.
Yes.
Wow. Amazing. And,
I think it was around.
yeah, I guess. You brought up a good point about contacting the MNR about the wetlands and the wolves and the bobcats. Maybe we could, make a call to them and find out where they stand on that kind of thing. Yeah. Something else I was wondering about, like, it's really hard to know how many trail passes would be sold in our municipality. That would be an interesting, do you think it's possible for the,
Okay, so, $20 trail passes are no longer handled the way they were done in the past with clubs selling trail passes and so forth. All trail passes are sold through the MTO. All money's gathered by MTO and given back to the OFSC. And all clubs are given equalization payments based on 4-year grooming average of hours.
yeah, that's not, I was just
So we
wondering.
don't know, each club, you can, when you sign up as a volunteer for a club, you can click the box on the online and I'll get your email and that information. And that you'd like to volunteer for the club. And that's how many, last year Peterson sold 191 trail passes. We're a small club. Or Halliburton sells 1,600. But they don't actually sell it, they're just clicking the tab that says that they're willing to volunteer.
No, but what I was wondering was, do they not, I mean, with computers today, you can do anything. Can they not do a postal code search in their system to see the people that buy? Would they not have their mailing address and their?
Yeah, but there's people that buy in Peterson that ride up here on the weekend but live in Toronto.
And that's,
80% of the
oh, okay,
100,000 passes are sold annually, roughly. 80% of those passes are sold below Highway 7.
and that's true. I don't wanna know
Yeah.
how many your club sells. I wanna know,
We don't sell any, MTO sells all.
no, but the OFC,
Yeah,
the O, whatever you call
we
it.
generate, OFSC gets roughly 25 million. from
Yeah,
MTO.
so can they not do a postal code search and pull up how many passes were sold to postal code KOJ2AO and
But it
KOJ2AO?
doesn't matter because it all goes pooled into one pool. and
I
it's-
know, but I wanna know, they
Oh,
are
it's over, for
resident,
District 6, it's over 6,000 some odd passes.
but you're missing what I'm trying to say. I wanna know how many of our residents would actually buy a pass.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
so I'm thinking of postal
I
code search.
can probably break it down by the 191 that say they joined Peterson as a club, but you could live here and buy a pass, click Maple Leaf. You can click any club
I
you want
know, but,
when you're buying a pass.
yeah,
It
but
doesn't
I'm
matter
saying
where you
where
live.
they live.
It doesn't matter where you live. The OFSC
No.
doesn't care.
When you buy your pass, you don't have to enter your address?
No,
No, okay,
No.
that's the.
all we care about is if your snowmobile is registered and insured. That's all we
It's
care
tough
about.
to collect that
That's
data.
weird.
Yeah,
Well, there's no mailings going out to anyone's
No.
address. So.
they provide,
All web based, I'm guessing.
the
But
mapping
if you
system.
go and get your license.
Well, car license and driver's license.
That's through MTO. And OFSC doesn't have access to MTO information.
Okay, that was one of the things I was wondering about. Anyone else have anything? Have
So
we
it
got
was
any-
actually, it was terrible years past when clubs actually sold passes. Because they collected the money didn't go to the trails, some was stolen, there was no accountability. Now there's complete accountability. We do budgets with line items, just like an accounting process. We get based on grueling hours, So my grooming hours forecast for last year was 480 grooming hours, we did 234, and I get paid $70 an hour for grooming. That's how the club gets paid.
Yeah, well, that's not the concern. I was just wondering how many people in our area would have, would buy a pass. To have some idea. Do you have any, requirements in the club to, if there is a wetland or something about how we be passing over that land?
You know, it's being frozen in the winter, we don't start until we have minimum 2.5 feet of snow, so really.
So it's the recreation portion.
The trail creation portion, there's not a guideline in the OFSC for trail creation portion. We hire people and companies to do that work for us. So we don't typically use our volunteer base to build a 2.5 kilometer trail. That would just exhaust the volunteer base.
So then we'll have to talk to them. And we're going to check out with our insurance, we're waiting on an answer for them if they feel we need additional liability.
And the only other question would be around any additional policing costs that we might
Yeah,
incur. We just have to check on that.
wonder-
I'm not sure how we would. decide.
Municipalities are charged for snowmobile policing.
well,
Your call.
it's built
No,
in,
that's not my policing, all
No.
OPP, the police is on behalf of NPO, it's a Ministry of Transportation Act.
but we pay, OPP, and it's based on,
Tolls and things, right?
yeah, what happens in our municipality. And how many calls they have and all of that stuff, so we were wondering about.
Yeah, they may have call data from other municipalities where they would say, well, we seen, I'm not, and I don't know if they collect that data, but. You know, you could kind of pull that out and see if there's been any increases or larger increases. Again, I don't know if people collect that. I don't know if the OPP collect that data, so you can pull it and look at the differences.
They do, I have a copy of it.
Okay.
A recent on call service and all that. We do bring.
Yeah, because you get that calculation, that like, all the, yeah, like how much time is spent on patrol and.
Yeah.
And how many
The
accidents
service
and how
is
many,
trespass.
yeah. Yeah,
Classic accidents.
as,
Sheldon, can I ask?
violence.
Can I ask, what, okay, from Kelly, if we make a call, for the police to come, how long will is it gonna take them to come to this area? And if the guy has a snow machine, he's gonna be gone before anything's ever done, right?
Well, it's not much different than the car, right?
I heard you can flatten that tire.
No, but it takes time to come, whether it's a domestic dispute or whether it's a snowmobile that you would like to look up, or somebody doing something suspicious with the car, the distance is the same.
Yeah.
The time it takes them to come is the same. If a call is made, there would be a charge for the call.
But we should be able to find that out.
Yeah.
So, and, we're still waiting for some legal. And we do have some legal we'll have to talk about in close because it's solicitor client privilege.
Right.
And we can't discuss it in open. So any other concerns from council?
Excuse me, when you come down dining, to get on the dining room, how are you getting?
Well, we're not taking any more questions from the public tonight.
That's my property there. And I'm going down in my room.
No, I know that.
And you guys are all of the done all over the property.
Yeah.
It's not very much.
There's a lot of things to consider.
A lot of moving parts.
Yes. There is. Okay, so we'll have more at the next meeting then. Okay. Is there anything else you have? And we only had the one email that came from.
We're all here to support him. Yeah, we actually got him a letter, signing up working funds for you.
So,
Were there other calls and other emails that came in
not that I've seen.
in the last 6 months or so?
Oh, we have all the ones that we
Okay, they're all
got.
documented.
Yeah, we have a file. We have a file. Yeah,
Great, thank you.
but like I'm saying, in terms of open houses, we only had the one, and then we had another letter that we had to discuss it with all the students.
I did came in and ask a question, but you weren't here.
So, okay, so we'll leave that for the next meeting then. Okay, so now we're on to. We have a resolution for the approval of a draft survey for a land acceptance. The resolution reads a Council Corporation and Township of Brunel and Dock and Raglan hereby approve the draft survey for the purpose of the conveyance of part two as detailed on the survey to the Township of Brunel and Dock and Raglan, and further direct staff to notify Red Root County Planning Division of this approval, and further direct staff to contact the solicitor to provide a buyout for the transfer of land, and that part two. Excuse me. Upon receipt of the registered survey, be added to the bylaw for the level of service policy for township roads. So that was a condition of survey, right, or of land acceptance, yeah. Can I get a mover for that, please? Okay, move by Councillor Campbell, seconded by Councillor Paul. Okay, any comments or questions? So that one hasn't been.
No, so this is a condition of a severance.
Yeah.
So every severance, they have to do a survey, county approves it, it gets.
Yeah.
approved. Because there's a portion of that survey that is dependent on sending Madigan Road, that we need to also approve the draft survey, which is why it's before we talk this.
Yeah. Okay. So, call for the, vote, all those in favor? Yes. Opposed, the motion is carried. We have the financial report. A resolution that we, the council of the Township of Green Island, Falcon Riding, will accept the year-to-date budget variance and monthly expenses summary as presented. Can I get a mover for that, please? Moved by Councilor Paul, seconded by Leslie Keller. And we have the reports there. Have we paid for the garbage contractor? Yes. Yeah. Yes. That's what our waste site budget has. That's what I thought. Anybody got any questions or comments? Looks good. Okay, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor?
Yes.
Opposed, the motion is carried. We have a bylaw, our tax rate bylaw, and it reads that we, the council of the corporation, the township of Blue Mountain and Falcon Raglan hereby adopts bylaw 2024-22, being a bylaw to approve the 2024 tax rates, having been introduced and read the first, second, and third time and finally passed. Can I get a mover for that, please? Moved by Councillor Banks, seconded by second by Councillor Keller. Any comments or questions? So now you can put the tax rates into off that. I hope everybody has their budget passed. That's a deadline. Yeah. Okay, so I'll call for the vote. All those in favor?
Yeah.
This is for opposed. Motion is carried. Okay, so now we have a resolution to go into closed session that we, the council of the corporation, of the Township of Greenell and Dr. Ragland will be closed session pursuant to the Municipal Act 2001, Section 239, sub 2 for the purposes of subsection D, labor relations or employee negotiations, and subsection K, plans and instructions for negotiations. So like Councilor Keller, seconded by Councilor Campbell. Call for the vote. All in favor? Opposed? Motion is carried. A lot of motions, but I'm we're back in no area.
Is that okay? Motion to come on close first.
Yeah, I don't need for three. Okay, welcome back to our open part of the meeting. Could I get a mover and a seconder for the resolution that says council comes out of the close at 9:05 p.m. Moved by Councilor Keller, seconded by Councilor Lentz. Okay, in closed session, council had a discussion regarding employee negotiations and also discussed plans for negotiations for services with the neighboring township. Okay, so we have a resolution for a bylaw as a result of our closed session. So it reads that we, the council of the corporation of the township of Greenell and Dr. Ragland, hereby adopts bylaw 2024-23, being a bylaw to appoint municipal officers and set salaries, mileage, and benefits for council. And all municipal employees having been introduced and read first, second, and third time and finally passed. Can you get a mover for that, please? Moved by Councilor Banks, seconded by Councilor Popfeld. Any comments, questions, discussion? Okay, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor?
Yes.
Opposed, the motion is carried. We have another resolution for a bylaw that reads that we, the council for the corporation of the township of Greenell and Dr. Ragland, hereby adopts bylaw 2024-24, being a bylaw to confirm the proceedings of the June 5th, 2024 review meeting of council, having been introduced and read at first, second, and third time and finally passed. Can I get a mover to that, please? Moved by Councilor Keller, seconded by Councilor Coyle. Any comments, questions? I'll call for the vote. All those in favor?
Yes.
Opposed, the motion is carried. And our final resolution that this meeting adjourns at 9:07 p.m. Did I get a vote in that, please? Councilor Banks.